If you're unhappy now, it don't matter how much money you got, you'll just be an unhappy rich person. When I tell people about how to get hold of money, I tell people how to be happy, and everything else, trust me, just flies in the door. We can't buy time, and we're giving it away wholesale by answering things, answering emails, doing all the bits and pieces, and we ain't living in the now.
So the science of getting rich pulled everything together to you. It made it more or less a clear map of where to go in life.
It gave me the tools to create my own map, which is the wonderful thing, because everyone has got different desires. And as we discussed earlier, the desire isn't I want, that'd be nice. The desire is I want that. And that's the difference. And if that's not the actual application and the energy that you put into your desire, it won't happen. And I want is, you know.
So, and when you say desire, do you have a vision? Do you try and create a vision of what you want in life and like a picture and concentrate on that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, and ideally, once you can work on it. And it doesn't have to be enormous desire, but just things that you really want, even to the point of saying that you want good relations with your family, or you want this, anything that you really want to happen in your life, providing that you are certain that that is what you want, the universe will go to work on your behalf. The problem the universe has in all situations is if you're unclear about what you want, the universe gets confused. It's like when we have schemes and they try and get rid of drugs, so they have a war on drugs. And what's that doing? That is bringing the universe in to say drugs, drugs, drugs. Everyone's talking about drugs, so that gets better. The best way to fight drugs is to bloody ignore them and not tell everyone all what's going on as a result of the drugs, and they'll wipe themselves out. As you remember, in the 60s with the mods and rockers, all the time that the newspapers were reporting on it, they used to tell you where the venue was going to be, whether it's going to be Brighton or Eastbourne, and we'd all go down there and we'd all have a fight. But once the government said you must not report it anymore, the next Easter everyone was confused. It wiped itself out. It still went on in little areas, but the biggest problem was solved because we were clear on what we wanted. We weren't actually broadcasting those situations, so they didn't grow.
When we did the course, we went news free. Tell people about going news free.
Well, that's basically one of the situations. I mean, where's the good news channel? There's no such thing as a good news channel. It don't sell newspapers. It don't sell TV programs. What they want to hear about is people getting blown up. But Reuters get 27,000 bits of information every minute. Okay? Now, if you want problems, go and get a job at Reuters. They pick out one thing and they make big news of it so that you watch their TV channel. It's not to help anyone, it's not to do any good for humanity, it's to sell bloody newspapers or television programs. And they pick out one thing, and sometimes if they're halfway through a story and another one breaks that they're more interested in, they don't even finish the other story because they've got you and they move on. So basically, if you don't switch your telly on for news, you're missing nothing, because out of the world events, what they choose is what they think is going to sell newspapers, and it's got nothing to do with the good of humanity. So if you go news free, you can't possibly worry about things. You go and worry. We had that recent thing of the two guys that got beaten up in Mandra and one of them died. That's fantastic for selling newspapers, and I feel absolutely terrible that it's happened. But it hasn't actually benefited anyone knowing what's happened, because what it's done is it's now created a fear in a place where it's never happened before. It may never happen again, but because the TV and the newspapers have reported it so much, they've created a fear in a town.
Very much what's happened here in Bali. Although we had the Bali bombings, which the world knows about, it has destroyed the livelihoods of so many people on this island. The fear of terrorist attacks, even from Australia. It said Bali is on high terror alert. But it doesn't really, I mean, obviously there are terrorist attacks.
Well, everyone is going through the motions to make us feel better. We get the car checked on the way in and out of the hotel. We get someone looking under the thing with the mirror. That is for us. It's got nothing in the fight for terrorism, because if someone wants to blow this hotel up, they ain't going to come through the front gate. There is about 2 or 3 kilometres where they could just walk over the boundary fence or jump over the wall. So that is just to appease us, and that is how silly things are. It's like when we get onto the aeroplanes now. If someone's prepared to strap a bit of gelignite round them and press a mobile phone and blow themselves up in a crowd, why aren't they prepared to put the stuff in the hold of the plane and then take the phone on? No one takes the phone off them, and that's the thing that's used the most to detonate bombs. And yet mobile phones are allowed on planes, but you can't take lipstick.